Hey everybody, welcome to Bubbleman's World. Welcome to episode 15 of the Wake and Bake. And I want to say that I enjoy these Wake and Bakes with Grant Wendling. Grant Wendling, I enjoy these Wake and Bakes with you as much as you enjoy them with me. Everyone is in the chat room. We've got Tom Allen and La Furnace 3, John Vidal, Ja Bless, Trev ST. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully we'll see D420K in the chat. He says he's going to pop in as well and post pictures of his ball sack. Apparently he's just busting my balls, being a funny character, but who knows, we might see it. Anyway, I think it's been already almost a minute, and I would love to get this party started with a little wake and bake. So grab what you got and let's do this. I'm gonna wake and bake with some D420K today. Yes. I don't know if the cam quality is worth. My quality looks great. It's probably your internet, and I suspect once it records and goes live, is after it's done, you'll have a much better quality feed. So let me just pull out a nice big chunk of this D420K powder. It's powder. Booyah. Booyah. Doesn't move much, I'll tell you that much. Powder. When is the next Puff Wednesday? You know, Puff Wednesday has pretty much been put on the shelf. Johnny B is so busy these days, he does not have time for a Puff Wednesday. I've told him that we could film it on a Tuesday, and if he could just not work on Tuesdays, I would be able to film and then cut it and have it available for Wednesday. And for the last 6 or 7 Tuesdays, he's been completely busy. So unfortunately, no Puff Wednesdays in the near future. But a wake and bake every day of the week can't be that bad. So here we go. Let's do it, guys. Good morning, Royal Planter. Velocity 211, Nick Lutz, Ned 669, Adam Walker. Everyone's in the house today. Fire in the hole, melty hash in my bowl. That's what I'll say about that. Wake and bakes are cool. They're chill. I don't feel the same level of responsibility that I have with Hash Church. I always feel very much responsible to try and make Hash Church the best possible church that it can be. And a lot of people, I think, they're just happy to kind of show up and be on the panel. But what I'm really looking for is for everyone to put that little bit of extra energy. And so that's a Hash Church thing. But with Wake and Bakes, super chill, super easy. I can just do my thing. And what am I up to today, Ike Jones? I'm going to be cleaning a little bit of dry sift. I am going to clean a little bit of dry sift. That's what's up today. Yeah, for sure, Jay Plot. You know, Hash Church has become what I would say is much bigger than myself, bigger than my channel. It's a responsibility that I feel. I'm always very nervous about trying to get the best show possible for you guys. You know, I want it to be the most enjoyable. I want everything to click. I want people to come in with fire information, and it's difficult to get that from people. It's not that easy on a Sunday morning to get people to come out and bring out their A game. So I do appreciate the panelists for coming in every Saturday. It's pretty friggin' awesome. Did you ever think you would have some type of a celebrity status? I don't think of myself as a celebrity in any way, shape, or form. What's my beef with Plant Builder? I'm just not a big fan of him, Tony. To be honest, I don't like his passive-aggressive nature. I don't like when he comes on my channel. Both him and Conrad, C-Ray, were doing it for a while. I bumped Conrad off. I watch the chat, okay, and I feel the energy of the chat. And when I'm in my Hash Church and I'm hammering out a good and enjoyable experience, and I look over and I see these little razor blade cuts, they remind me of someone who's very unhappy in a marriage, and instead of supporting their partner, they just cut them. They just give them little cuts, little slices each time. And I found that after listening to his slices for months and months and months, I just finally could not take it anymore and had to get him out of the room. It's just, I do not think that he's a positive person. I think that he is very, very negative, and I just don't need that in the room. You know, he's got his own, keep in mind, the guy does his own show right after Hash Church. So he's in my show to promote his show. He's just not what I would say someone that I want to support in this industry. So that's my feel on Plant Builder. I think he's a negative guy. Yeah, that's it, Red Eyes. He's just irritating. He's so miserable that he comes in to be miserable, and that's not the vibe. So let's transfer the vibe. And that was just his name getting brought up. Did you feel the vibe change a little bit? We're gonna bring it back up. Bring it back up. We got a little bit of Congo on the nail here, and let's just have a good little rip. I'm not a celeb at all, Nick Lutz. I'm just a dude doing my thing. Wow, that was good. I'm really curious to, as your preference, Beeman, on quality of flower rosin versus hash rosin. Well, I find hash rosin to be stronger and just a little bit more of a kick. I also find that hash rosin is a specific micron, and flower rosin is all of the microns mixed. So you're getting this whole array of all the glands, whereas with the hash, you're really getting the ones that you want, leaving out the ones that you don't. So for me, I'm going to go with the hash as the best. Oh, I'm not sure, Grant Wendling, but a lot. I would have to start. I'm still waiting for my terp machine from Tony. I'm going to be running terps here in Canada here sometime in 2017. Supposed to be in January, then in February, then in March, and now we're at the end of April. So who's to know? Tony is a busy guy and always getting sucked into these Cannabis Cup things. He was down there. I think him and Gold Drop won a first place for their collaboration. Not even that, Willie, just a normal dude, period. Yes, Nick Lutz, I get a lot of people coming up to me at events. They ask if they can take pictures with me, and generally I just say yeah. But yes, lots of people, lots of people. Oh, right on, J Plot. That's what I'm trying to go for. Just maintain. No, BB, please. Here's the thing about that. I don't go to places that I'm not invited to. So I won't call the Great Gardener up and say, hey, can I come over? Like Remo calls me up and invites me over. He says, hey, the plants look great. We need you to come down here. So the next time I go to Remo's, it'll be because he invited me up. So if you want to bug someone, for me, you can bug anyone you want, but you can't bug me to go see Gigi. You got to bug Gigi and say, hey, Gigi, we need Bubbleman to come down, but don't, you can't bug. So many people. Oh, we need another Gigi video. Have you talked to Gigi about it? Because I'm the Bubbleman. I make the videos. He actually owns the facility where it would be filmed. So you would really have to go ask him. Who is a good SB to get Great Gardener seeds to K? I'm not sure, you know, probably the Vancouver Seed Bank. I believe that's who he sells. It's not that I hate it. I just won't do it. It's not proper. It's not how it goes. You don't call people up and invite yourself to their place. Yeah, well, Periscope wasn't even the beginning of it, Trey Flip. Before Periscope, there was Quick or Kick, Q-U-Q-I-K. And that one was, that one was years ago. So I've always been playing around with live videos, the ability to stream. I had one of the first cannabis video chats online at fullmeltbubble.com, paid for that for years. And it was during a time that people were a little bit nervous to go online and show their faces. Some still are, but a lot less than it used to be. Some people are still nervous. But back then it was like the majority of people. So to try and get on a cannabis chat with 5 or 6 or 7 people was, yeah, Tiny Cam and Stickum was another spot. You know, the original chats for me was like True Stoners. Cannabis Culture had one. Overgrow had one for a short period of time, which was really neat because everyone knew Overgrow. It was the #1, the busiest site. And so when you saw the names from Overgrow show up in the chat room, it was just a really neat thing to be able to see all those people and be able to chat live with them. I always thought there was magic there. I always thought that one of the main things that Prohibition went after was trust. So obviously trust is probably one of our most valuable assets as a community, because Prohibition attacked our trust in one another, and they created rats. And they created all sorts of nervous, anxietous energy. And that's what Prohibition of cannabis is. So if we can kind of eliminate that and push back into the trust, where you can actually trust your fellow man, trust the person you're doing business with. And yeah, it's just a nice, kind of a nice option, as opposed to thinking everyone's out to rat you out and get you arrested. Yeah, trust is everything. Back in the day, it wasn't even a handshake. It was like, pass the keys to the semi-trailer. There's 14 tons in the back. I'm good for it. No problem. Nowadays, it's just not quite the situation. You brought the magic of that to Hash Church, Bubbleman. All right, Sean 8033. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but fuck what you heard. Solventless Mind is a real dude. I love Solventless Mind. Are you kidding me? I fucking love his sort of aggressive nature. I love his I don't give a fuck. And I love his just sitting on the cusp of greatness. You know, he's got great material. He's doing a great job. He's running. He reminds me a little bit of myself back in the day when I was just hammering the bubble bags, working daily with the 20 gallons, pumping out, you know, a pound plus of bubble hash every day. I can pump out a pound of bubble hash with 2 or 3 20-gallon bubble bag kits and 1 assistant every day, a pound of the melt. That's what I'm talking about. Those were in my heydays when I'd really, no, I missed Paul Stamets yesterday, unfortunately. I'll have to watch the recorded video. I remember you sent me something. I didn't think it was quite that soon that you were talking. Yeah. All right, so let me get the little rip here. Started with the D420K, then hit some Congo 120 micron bubble hash rosin, and gonna finish it off. Yeah, what's up, King Steez Rip? Is that King Steez from Instagram? Same King Steez? I'm just not sure if you're the same dude that was buying all those pipes off of High Integrity Glass Art. What are my thoughts on LSD? Well, happy belated bicycle day, the infamous day where Albert Hoffman accidentally dosed himself and went and took a little ride on his bicycle. I got to say that my thoughts are, I support psychedelics, LSD, tryptamines, psilocybin mushrooms. I do support them all. I think there are great things to learn about ourselves and about how how we could properly express ourselves in this world together, rather than through this warped out sort of, I don't know exactly what it is about this world, the agenda. I don't know if it's how we make money, how we focus on money. You know, it seems as though the monetary concept, the mental construct of money is the thing that's really holding people away, if you will, from the psychedelic experience. It's the polar opposite of the psychedelic experience. And to me, you know, having taken all those psychedelics in my life really prepared me for the death of my father and his wife. It prepared me for the birth of my children, which, if you don't already know, birth and death are 2 of the most psychedelic experiences. And if you have no experience whatsoever in those arenas and you end up there, it can be a kind of frightening, sort of scary place. Obviously, when my father passed away, it was very, very intense for me. It was a sudden death on a motorcycle in an accident with his wife. They both perished, and it shocked me to the core of my being. It knocked me off my feet, actually, when I was told on the phone. So psychedelics really sort of prepared me for dealing with that, in a sense that I didn't need faith. I didn't require faith from a religion that would tell me, oh no, just have faith, it's okay, they're in heaven now. Because I had experienced my own spiritual revolution through psychedelic use. I had experienced my own natural sort of my natural experiences, you know, through nature, through my connection of nature and psychedelics, because I always took psychedelics in nature, outside, by a fire, on a mountain, near the water, any of those things. To me, those things transcend you know, the capitalistic methods of making money and fitting into relationships and all of these things. So yeah, just a little, I support psychedelics and is all I'm really saying. And they really have helped me deal both with death and with birth. So that's what I'll say about that. Adam Walker says his brother passed away a couple years ago now. Every time I trip, there is always some kind of related message telling me it's all one big connecting thing. Well, that's just it. You don't really need, well, I think religion is a manipulation of people's spiritual beliefs, and it guides them into a, you know, a very narrow perspective that allows them to be manipulated and controlled. So I prefer the spiritual aspect of the same experience, which is have your experiences and use them as a foundation and as a basis to go out and experience the rest of life. You know, most people, they don't really think they have a need for it until their world gets so rocked. If you've taken a psychedelic like DMT, and had all reality break down around you and be replaced with a different reality, then having someone really close to you die is not quite as much of a rocker as you might think, because there's this knowledge that there are these other realities that exist and that there are these interconnectednesses that happen, that occur between all of us, that we are often kept from through our 5 sense prison. Our prison is the senses, because those senses only are, you know, they only have the ability to perceive within a very narrow frame. So from what you can hear is only a certain decibel to a certain decibel. And there is a much longer graph of those sounds that go below what you can hear and that go above what you can hear. So what that shows us is that our hearing has got us in a prison. Our eyesight also can only see certain wavelengths and certain frequencies. So ones that exist below and above what we're able to perceive in are locked out from us. So these to me are the experiences of taking psychedelics, the prosthetics for the mind that escape out of the senses or plug the senses in a little bit differently, give them a little bit of a boost so you can see past what you can see, so you can hear past what you can hear, and so you can see things that you can hear, and you can hear things that you can see. And so these are experiences that can only be had in the psychedelic realm, and I think that the importance of psychedelics is obviously great. Why else would they have a war against them, right? Death is not the end. My dad and sister told me my grandfather died while I was tripping. Very powerful moment. I bet. That is powerful. Shout out from Vancouver Island, Pie Fake. Glad you're digging it, Grant. Glad you're digging it. You think life is just lessons and experiences? Well, Trev, you know what I really think? I think that we come from a source that is all one. And I think that we go back to a source that is all one. And when I say all one, what I really mean is not the fractioned portions of reality that we currently are, i.e. our egos, where we get to experience fractioning, where we get to experience being away from the whole. And of course, the entire experience feels like we're just trying to connect. We just want to get connected, where I really believe that we come from the connection and we go back to the connection. Now, that's probably what that connection is, where we come from and where we go to. Back to is probably inconceivable to put into human language, and I don't pretend to have a vision of what I think it is in my mind. I just know that it is, and once again, I know that it is through my use of psychedelics. And these aren't just feelings, and you aren't proved the same way on a psychedelic. Proof does not come the same way on a psychedelic as it does to a scientist who wants to see and hear and recreate and replicate. But psychedelics are felt in the heart, and they're felt in the soul. And when you have that experience, when you transcend your 5 cents prison, and you get to see beyond that or feel beyond that, then you too will know, and nobody can deny it. There's no way. Woke, wake and bake. We'll call this the woke and bake today. We were woke and then we baked. I'm going to hit one last one. Always dig talking to you guys. I think it's great that there's people that want to listen, because I can't believe that. You have to understand, like, from my perspective, I'm just a person just like any of you guys. Imagine that you just turn your YouTube on and there's 250 people that want to hear what you have to say, and better yet, are interacting with you and your conversation. I think that you guys typing back to me is everything. I look to you guys to direct these conversations. So while I'm packing, let's see, we hit the OG Kush, we hit the Pine Tar Kush, we hit the Congo. I guess it's time for the 09 cookies. Time for some 09 cookies dry sift right there. Let's do this. Woken token. Yes, Trichome City, you can call it whatever you want. It could just be a programmer. It could just be a god. It could just be none of the above. All I know is the experience that we're having now is the one to focus on. And I'm sure in my death, all will be revealed. Of that, I'm quite certain. Or the next level will be revealed. We'll see what happens. I am new to growing. What should someone expect to pay for seeds? What strains would you suggest to grow outdoors this summer? Well, Tara Lee, what I would really suggest is that you Google that same thing. Find a couple of popular cannabis sites, you know, ones that are, I mean, I can't even think off the top of my head. I'm more on Facebook nowadays, but you could call maybe my friend Rebecca at the Vancouver Seed Bank and talk to her direct, or one of her employees. They'd probably have lots to talk to you about. I think that's the route I would go to, because there's a lot of different seeds that you can buy. There are a lot of different cultivars depending on where you're growing and how long your season is, or whether you're wanting to put them indoors or outdoors. All of these things are going to be important factors. And I think if you talk to a person like on the phone from a seed bank, Vancouver Seed Bank is the one I suggest, they'll hook you up and help you out. Maybe Genius 2009, but you never know. And I'll tell you, if you've taken psychedelics and gone to these places, I'll never forget my friend and I getting so high on mushrooms that we ended up in this really strange place. And at one point we looked at each other and we were both very uncomfortable. And he looked at me and he said, why are we so uncomfortable? And I said, because we are where death goes and you're not supposed to bring your body. And it was such a feeling of truth that I'll tell you, that night was intense. What's the story on the 09 cookies? You'd have to ask the Sunrise Wellness Foundation guys. I don't know the exact story. I know that my friend Rick DeLisi, who's close with the Cookies family, Jigga and Flux, he's like, 09 cookies, what the fuck is that? So we'll see what happens. I never know. Let's have a hit. Trust me, it was a moment. It was an incredible moment. We had many of them that evening. We were in the forest by a fire, a very dark, quiet forest, but close to railroad tracks. And at one point in time, a train rolled through, and I'm telling you, that thing felt like it rolled through my chest. I was so high at that point. My eyes were closed, but I could see through my eyelids. I couldn't see clearly, but I could see for sure. It was pretty wild. One last rip for this Wake and Bake, episode 15. What do you guys say? Let's do it. Those ice caves, Drew, were amazing. They touched my soul. Those were a psychedelic experience. I'm telling you, that's something that people should do. Put it on your bucket list. I don't care if you got to fly out there on a helicopter and it's going to cost you $1,500. Do it. It's unbelievable. I have a video coming out today. It's a big one. It's like 10 gigs or something. So it's currently extracting, and it is, let's see, it's got 4 hours and 34 minutes left to extract, and I suspect it'll take 5 or 6 hours to upload. But at one point in time, the Ice Cave video will upload today, and you guys will get to enjoy it. Oh, Kyle, thanks for the support, Kyle. He's ordering some bubble bags. I do appreciate it. Of course, when you do order products from me, whether it's my dry sift screens or my wet wash or bubble nows or whatever, I'm always here to answer your questions. And even if you didn't order the products from me, I'm still here to answer the questions. I got to admit, I can't be a dick. Well, I could be. I can be. You've seen it. I can be a dick. We all know that, but not in regards to not giving people advice just because they're using, a company that is copying my company, undermining my company, and trying to, lower the quality of the Water Hash name. I still will help those people too. Sensory deprivation. All right. You know what's a good hit? When both your carb caps get flaming hot. Pretty good. Pretty good. Do you ever put the 90 over the 60 dry sift? I'm not sure what that even means. Has anyone put mushrooms in a sublimator before? I have not. Thank you, Jason Pope. I try. Have you tried cold terp vaping? Cold terp vaping is just ripping terps without hitting them. So yes, we have done this from in the beginning when we first got the terps. And of course, when the terpene bowler hat was created, the carb cap that you fill with the terps, of course, Etienne had that on the church long ago. Put it on top of your pipe and you get this cold terp rip. It's interesting. It's decent. I mean, you can do it with a vaporizer and basically go from room temperature up to any temperature you want. I prefer my terps mixed with cannabinoids and hit at a much warmer temperature. Well, you can, yeah. I mean, the 60 is 250 and the 90 is 180. So you could do that, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the screens are big enough that the material will still fall through, but it's really a 250 is the screen you want to drop material through, and then the 90, which is about 180 microns, is the one that will catch the contaminant. If that hole's too big, a lot of that contaminant's going to fall through. So you can flip those screens if you want to be counterintuitive to the process and potentially contaminate your product more than it needs to be. It's probably your internet connection. My connection looks crystal clear, so I suspect this is going to be quite nice and clean once it's uploaded. All right, well, I think that's it, everybody. We gave some good downloads today. We talked a little bit about psychedelics. We can talk about whatever we want on Wake and Bakes because this is what we do here on Bubbleman's World. We bust it out. Do appreciate everyone that's watching. 255 viewers. We're growing each day. We get a few more, and I like that. I will be tomorrow back with another episode of Wake and Bake, and I'll try to kind of figure out something to talk about. It's not a very long conversation, but it's nice if I come in. It's hard just right off the top of my head. That's why it's so nice when I get the questions from you guys. It's hard to just come up with conversation each time and keep it flowing and keep it educational. So one more rip, Toaster Grow says, well, I won't say no to one more rip. I never will. I never have. And here we go with one more rip. Let's make it a Congo, shall we? Might as well. Got a little dunk, a little shard, a little shardy bardy. Great Wake and Bake medication station. Dope Reefer. Yeah, his connection's fuzzy. What time do you start these? I start them whenever I wake up and bake. Sometimes I'm up at 7 o'clock and I feel that's too early. So I'll wait 2 or 3 hours, you know, usually around 8:30 to 9:30. I'll try and crack a Wake and Bake. But, well, Tricom Sarah, at least you made it. At least you made it for the end. Better than nothing. Arnie Ajakut, enjoy the day. Thank you, sir. Flavor City, I'm about to drop this Congo onto, let's see if we can get that. Booyah, there it is. Very clear, very nice. Nice little rip. What's up, Four Corners? Just at the end here, we're about to finish it off. We're going to have one more rip, and it is recorded. Exactly. You can always go back. I think people appreciate seeing it live. I think people appreciate the interaction of hearing their name, and of course, being able to ask a question that immediately gets a reply is also more fun. But that's just me. Shall we do this, everybody? Are you ready? Here we go. No, not so much, Thornton. She has in the past, but not so much. Nice to get it deep into the lungs. Yes, David Forker, you will have to rewind. It's worth it. There's some good drops. I can't remember everything, but we talked about psychedelics and kind of my perspectives, I guess, on life and death. Maybe we got heavy this hash church. We did get, or this hash wake and bake. I just call everything hash church nowadays. Is stroke and cannabis something you can talk about in the hash church? It absolutely is. It's just a matter of hash church almost falls together naturally. And as much as I try to direct the conversation, it just doesn't have the same flow as, say, a wake and bake. And yes, I do ever take tolerance breaks. I just took an 8-day tolerance break when I went to the Dominican Republic. Could have easily found cannabis and kept myself irie while I was there. But I went for the tolerance break. It was nice. I maybe slept a little less deep and maybe ate a little less voraciously, but it was fine. I got home and I had a couple of blasts, and I won't say that it was overwhelming, but it was very nice, just like it always is for me. It's always consistently nice. I don't feel like I'm chasing anything with my cannabis use. I don't feel like my tolerance is so through the roof that I don't feel medicated when I use cannabis anymore, particularly with concentrates, because the concentrates are so strong and so pure that if you're not feeling them each and every time, there's definitely something wrong. So that's it. My channel is Hash Church. Well, Willie Grows, Hash Church is one of the many things you'll see on my channel, but I can assure you, out of the 700 plus videos that are currently sitting on Bubbleman's World, there is certainly a lot more than just Hash Church, from soon to be ice caves, snowmobiling, snowboarding, mountain biking, boating, dirt biking, motorcycle, highway motorcycling, all of it, dude. It's Bubbleman's World. We like to get out. We like to be in nature. I like to take you guys to different countries, from Spain to Amsterdam to Jamaica. All of these different places you can go to and visit on Bubbleman's World. So there it is, everybody. Thank you so much. I do appreciate your time. I really do. And may the full melt bless your bowls sooner than later. We will talk again soon tomorrow. Enjoy your day, everybody. Peace.